Good morning and welcome to Staff's Live Breakfast with Lewis Warner and Joe Farrett. It's just gone 11 o'clock on Friday the 15th of April. Hope you're well this morning. Hello, I'm Lewis Warner. It's 3:15 and here are today's top stories. Good afternoon. Welcome to Staff's Live. I'm Lewis Warner. The headlines at 3:15. Good afternoon. This is Staff's Live. I'm Lewis Warner. The headlines at 3 o'clock. A pensioner from Leek has surprised local charities by leaving them over £1 million in her will. 95-year-old Mary Bonello died in 2014 and her solicitors have just handed over money to Douglas Macmillan Hospice, Donna Louise Children's Hospice and the military charity Royal Star and Garter. Today marks the start of the official campaign ahead of the EU referendum in June. Both sides are expected to spend the day giving speeches and taking part in rallies. The London Mayor Boris Johnson will claim later today that the money Britain spends on the EU could be spent on the NHS. On the other side, the Stronger In campaign has accused Vote Leave of using incorrect figures on the UK's contribution to the EU budget. And there's some breaking news here at Staff's Live. In the last few minutes we've heard that Chesterfield striker Ched Evans has been found not guilty of rape after a retrial. We'll have more on that on our website. Staffordshire Police have disclosed they've been clamping down on child sex parties organised on social media. 40 teenage girls were stopped from attending a party in Bucknell earlier this month after police believed they were in danger of being sexually exploited. Making the front page of the papers this morning. On the front page of The Times, shareholders in BP voted overwhelmingly to reject a massive pay rise for its chief executive. That would have given £14 million. Also, there's some nice pictures here of the Duchess of Cambridge, who's taking part in an archery display there. That's nice.
Now at Currys and PC World, it's sale time.
We've seen these popular brands side by side since 2009, when retail giant Dixons combined Britain's biggest technology stores, creating the Currys PC World brand we are familiar with today. However, nationally, 134 stores will be closing to accommodate the merger. The PC World store here at Festival Park will close shortly and merge with Currys around the corner to make what Dixons Retail describe as a mega store. It comes as part of a £50 million reinvestment in all of their shops around the country. On the front page of the Daily Mirror, super bugs are deadlier than cancer. That's what they say. There's fears that 10 million people a year could die from infections as antibiotics become increasingly ineffective. That's what the Daily Mirror says this morning. After years of planning, Staffordshire University has merged its two campuses together. The launch event played host to several dignitaries and a famous face or two. Dasha Smith reports.
We'll be taking a look at some of your tweets throughout the show.
We certainly will. Now, you've been voting for the last 3 days on who you want to lead your students' union as a full-time officer. But it's not just the officers that have a big impact on how the students' union represents you. Student trustees also play a massive part. Now, taking into account all of the votes cast, the officer-elect who the majority of students expressed a preference for and who will be offered the role of president is Jamie Lee Cunningham.
Thank you, good afternoon. Well, the weather has got a certainly more autumnal feel to it as we head towards the weekend. That's thanks to a weather front that's been making its way down from the south, pulling in some fresher air behind it. For the rest of the day today, temperatures will be settling at around 10 degrees Celsius, and as we move into the evening, there is a risk of 1 or 2 isolated showers. As for tomorrow, a cool start to the day with showers around from the word go, and those showers do have the potential to be a bit heavier and contain some thunder and hail. That's all your weather for now. Back to you guys.
Now moving on, much has been made over the last year of the so-called vinyl revival. Sales are at a 20-year high and some supermarkets are now getting in on the action by selling records.
They are, and tomorrow marks National Record Store Day, which aims to get people back into LPs. Joe Thompson went down to a local record store to see what all the fuss was about. Now, the number of reported sexual offences in Stoke-on-Trent has risen significantly over the last 12 months. Joe Thompson joins me now. And Joe, can you explain to me how big is this problem?
Good afternoon, Lewis.
With the aim of reducing road congestion on match days, Councillor Jack Brereton has suggested a new stop on the main line outside the Britannia Stadium. A Stoke City spokesperson said the club would welcome the development as it would help supporters get to the ground. It's thought a new rail platform here at the Britannia Stadium would ease congestion on the roads, but even though it could take up to 15 years before it's complete, fans are embracing the idea. Now, we all know that Stoke-on-Trent is famous for its oat cakes, but a local arts project is trying to highlight Staffordshire's history when it comes to another food that's been part of our diet for hundreds of years.
That's right, I paid a visit to an old warehouse in Stoke to find out a bit more.
Stoke-on-Trent City Council has pledged to invest £5 million to improve the city's road network. Kiefer Waldridge has more. Our reporter Laura Woodford is here with us now to give us a little bit more of an insight into this project. Laura, are there any other ways that this money can be raised?
Potholes, the bane of every local councillor's life, not to mention the motorists. Earlier this month, Stoke-on-Trent City Council received over £100,000 to fix 32,000 potholes. However, it seems none of that money made its way to this road in Stoke. This pothole here on Keelings Road was reported to authorities on Wednesday. Since then, there have been major traffic disturbances as vehicles have been diverted around the Northwood Stadium. It's just part of a wider problem that will see this pothole not fixed until at least Sunday.
Now to catch up on the latest sport, here's Danny.
45,000 junior doctors in England and Wales will now be forced to work under a new contract after negotiations between the government and the British Medical Association broke down. The new contract will include a 13.5% pay rise, but reclassify Saturday working hours, so they no longer receive extra pay for antisocial hours. The British Medical Association argued that this will actually result in a 33% decrease in overall pay. It's thought the BMA are sorting legal advice on whether there's a mandate for further industrial action from a ballot taken by junior doctors in November, in which they voted 98% in favour of striking. Lewis Warner, Staffs Alive.
2 teenage girls have been charged with kidnapping a 3-year-old child in central Newcastle upon Tyne. The child went missing from the Primark store in Northumberland Street shortly after 5 p.m. on Wednesday. She was found just over an hour later, about 3 miles away in Gosforth. That is all your news for now. Goodbye.
That is all your weather for now. There's more at 3.
Good. Yeah.